Today I'm going to talk about Island in the Sea of Time by S.M. Sterling. This was a really good book. The basic premise of it is the island of Nantucket travels back 3,000 years into the past. And how does this island cope with being in the past? Well, they were lucky in that they had a ship in the area that got sent back. There was a Coast Guard ship. There was like a special demonstration ship on sailing ships. So it was a sailing ship full of military personnel. And so they went to Britain and met the locals. And the locals at the time, what the Romans considered the Celts, were not there yet. Instead, there were two different groups that by historical times had merged together. But here they were separate, and you could recognize elements of Indo-European culture in each of them. You can see elements of Celtic culture in each of them. But they had not yet merged at the point this was going on. So, there's two different groups. And so the Nantucketers meet them and they make some friendly contact. But then the group breaks up, the Nantucketers do. That one person decides that, hey, if I'm 3,000 years back in the past, I can conquer the world. So he gathers some sympathetic people to him and also some idiots who are on his side. And they manage to steal a bunch of the modern weapons. But the firing pins have all been removed, so neither side had a really big advantage on that account. But they had an advantage because of their technology. And the two groups fell to fighting over each other, and one of them tried to bring a tech advantage to the Olmecs, but they brought like books and stuff that the Olmecs couldn't read, and tried to personally give them to them. It would have been better off if they wanted to give them a tech advantage. They brought them telescopes and microscopes and things like that. You don't need to know to read to use. But anyway, so it's a really good book, and it spawned two sequels. Because after the bad guys in this book were defeated, then they went and conquered Greece. Greece during the Trojan War era, with all that involved. And so it turned into a world war as the Nantucketers sought out allies in Babylon. And it was going really, really good until about 100 pages before the end of the third book. It looked like there's going to be a fourth book. And then all of a sudden, it ended really fast. A lot of things had been built up in the second and third book, suddenly didn't happen. So that was a shame. But it was a good series, and people who are into alternate history use the term ISOT, which means Island in the Sea of Time, referring to somebody being transferred back into the past. I'm pretty sure that was written before this. And it was a good series.